Valkyrie's Last Stand. The lightning flashed, illuminating the sky in a blinding white light. The heat was oppressive, and the air was thick with the smell of ozone. The birds were silent, their cries drowned out by the thunder. A lone woman stood on the edge of a cliff, watching the storm. She was a hacker, and her code name is Valkyrie. She had been tracking a group of criminals who were using a powerful new computer virus. The virus was designed to steal financial data from banks and businesses, and the woman was determined to stop them. Valkyrie had been following the criminals' trail for weeks, and she had finally tracked them to this remote location. She knew that they were planning to release the virus tonight, and she had to stop them. Valkyrie took a deep breath and stepped off the cliff. She fell through the air, the wind whipping through her hair. She reached out and grabbed a tree branch, slowing her descent. She then landed on the ground and quickly made her way to the criminals' hideout. Valkyrie found the criminals in a cave, surrounded by computers. They were working on the virus, and they were unaware of her presence. Valkyrie used her hacking skills to hack into the criminals' computers, but she was unable to access the virus. The criminals had a firewall that prevented unauthorized access, and it could only be bypassed by someone who was physically present in the red zone of the cave. Valkyrie knew that she had to get inside the cave, but she also knew that it would be dangerous. The cave was heavily guarded, and the criminals would be expecting her. But Valkyrie was determined to stop them, even if it meant risking her life. Valkyrie waited until nightfall, and then she snuck into the cave. She was careful to avoid the guards, and she made her way to the computer room. The criminals were still working on the virus, and they were completely unaware of her presence. Valkyrie knew that she had to get to the red zone of the cave in order to bypass the firewall. She looked around the computer room, and she saw a door that was labeled Red Zone. She knew that this was the door that she had to get through. Valkyrie ran to the door and started hacking into it. She was able to gain access to the door, and she stepped through it. Valkyrie found herself in a small, enclosed area. There were several computers in the area, and they were all connected to a large server. The woman knew that this was where the virus was being deployed. Valkyrie ran to the server and started hacking into it. She was able to gain access to the server, but she was faced with a new challenge. The criminals had used parallel computing in quantum computers to deploy the virus, which made it impossible for her to stop the deployment. Valkyrie knew that she could not stop the virus from being deployed, but she was determined to do something to mitigate the damage. She started hacking into the criminals' computers, looking for any information that could help her track down the virus and stop it from spreading. After several hours of searching, Valkyrie found a file that contained the virus's code. She quickly copied the code and uploaded it to a secure server. She then contacted the authorities and told them where to find the file. The authorities were able to use the code to track down the virus and stop it from spreading. Even though Valkyrie mitigated the risk, she knew that she was defeated. She had failed to stop the criminals from deploying the virus. She knew that the virus would cause widespread chaos and destruction, and she felt responsible. She knew that she would never forget this night. She had failed, but she would never give up. She would keep fighting, even if it was a losing battle. Why are they using parallel computing in quantum computers? Valkyrie wondered. Why not just use a traditional computing? The answer came to her a moment later. Parallel computing was much faster than traditional computing. The criminals were using it to deploy the virus as quickly as possible, leaving very little time for anyone who was trying to stop them. Valkyrie knew that she had been outmatched. The criminals had used their technology to their advantage, and she had been unable to stop them. But she also knew that she would not give up. She would keep fighting, even if it was a losing battle. She would never stop trying to protect the world from those who would use technology for evil. Thanks for listening.